87.
Okay. That seems
87.
reasonable. Yeah.
The number 1, number 4 is Topper Harley, body count 103, which is the Hot Shots Part 2 Charlie Sheen character. Number 3, John Preston from Equilibrium, body count 118. Oh, fun. Number 2, Smith from Shoot 'Em Up.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah? Clive Owen's character.
I thought that The Bride, Kill Bill would be up there too.
Number 1, makes me want to watch it. Never heard of this movie. Ogami Ito, Lone Wolf and Cub, White Heaven in Hell, 1974.
Whew.
Body count 150.
Jesus.
And this guy does it all with a fucking sword.
That's crazy.
Hell yeah. I want to watch that.
Do you have it broke down with Schwarzenegger's total body count?
Schwarzenegger is responsible for...
Got to be in the 60s, right?
Oh, in the 80s.
Oh, only like 5 more than that weren't by
Schwarzenegger? Yeah, I'm trying to think through the movie, and it's not...
First kill, second kill.
Yep.
No, he doesn't even kill the guy in the car stand. I was thinking that, but he doesn't.
No. So it's like that first guy who gets killed.
Yeah.
So it may be like 85, and as I think back through the movie. But I think, Arnold is 95% of the kills in this movie. Which, good for him.
Yeah, he should be.
He's got to get his daughter back.
Yeah.
No one wants that to happen. Our law officials, this country, Val Verde's, no one wants it to happen. No one believes him. Poor guy.
Yeah.
And Tequila, Hard Boiled, is number 9.
Yeah.
But he's tied with Blade.
Okay.
At 77.
Man.
Pretty fun. The Bride, Kill Bill, number 11.
Oh, okay.
76.
Nice.
Pretty great. Rambo 3, 72. And, well, let's see. Okay, Chronicles of Riddick is in there. I wanted to see if what the body count was for Rambo 2 that this was in competition with. Ooh, the Punisher's up there with Dolph Lundgren.
Is it not even like on the first 20 or something on there? Wow.
No. Tied for number 24, El Mariachi.
Okay.
Desperado, 1985. Oh, I can't wait to do that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not even on there. So how about that? I guess they won.
Seems like it wasn't that tough then, right?
Yeah. I mean, they were just like, we don't know what the body count is.
Yeah,
we hear it's big.
Yeah.
We got to go huge. This movie, excuse me, came out to, it was a hit, we should say.
Yeah.
It was a pretty big hit. It was
especially in terms of revenue.
Yeah, easily. $9 million, and it made how much?
57.5. Man,
that's a lot of
that's
fucking
crazy.
money.
Yeah,
that's a lot of money.
You got to think that immediately that they're talking write a sequel, which they did.
They did,
and we'll get into that. But when we start talking about Lester and Sousa again, But yeah, it's for that $9 million, like.
Well used.
Did you see what Arnold's salary was on that? I mean, I wonder. No, I was looking for it, but I couldn't find. I mean, you got to think at that time. I bet it was like probably $3 million, probably somewhere around there.
I think that might be high.
Really?
And I only say that. I think he could demand more, but I think you're thinking in that time, an actor being paid $1 million on his third film would be a big deal.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if like Arnold. Governor Schwarzenegger salary.
You're right. Probably Hedaya got $5 million for being the character actor in the.
He earned $2 million for Commando.
Okay.
$3.5 million for Predator. $11 million for Total Recall. $12 million for both the movies Kindergarten Cop and Terminator 2. So.
I hope he got back end on that T too.
God. Basically, since the success of Terminator, he demanded more each movie he made. Rightfully so. Smart move. You got to think, he's young in this, too.
Yeah.
He was doing all that bodybuilding shit at a very young age. So, I don't even know if he's 30 in this movie.
Doesn't that just make you look in the mirror and think, like, what the
Every day.
What am I doing?
So, why don't we get into director and writers? we've dealt with Mark Lester before.
Yeah, and D'Souza.
And what was the Mark Lester film we worked with?
Showdown, right?
Showdown.
Yeah.
And Little Tokyo. Yeah. Mark Lester loved boobies.
Thank you.
Tried to get him in again.
Yeah.
He did get a booby shot in there.
Yeah.
But I think he was like, you know what? We don't need boobies. Let's get more violence.
Right.
And he does.
What was the booby? Oh, the hotel scene?
Yeah. And he, we talked about him quite a bit in Showdown Little Tokyo.
Right.
I don't have much more to add to him, unless you do.
No, I mean, yeah, he's a fun director, and I mean, he's done some other fun stuff too. But yeah, I mean, I think the biggest one too that everything the screenplay is D'Souza, and that's kind of what we want to run off to with the sequel and everything as well.
Yeah, let's go ahead. Let's get into D'Souza, because this man is prolific.
Yeah. And we've talked about him before, but, it's everything that has been... I can't imagine, Running Man, Die Hard 2, Die Hard, Hudson Hawk even is a fine movie. It's a fun movie.
Hudson Hawk.
And one of my favorites, Ricochet, and, all these great
Jumpin'
movies.
Jack Flash, you remember that one.
Turbulence, best trailer of all time.
Gosh, I mean... I'm sort of just scrolling through his shit here. And even into the 2000s, wrote Lara Croft, Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
Knockoff with Van Damme. Turbulence, Judge Dredd. Of course, Street Fighter. Oh, we also would have met with him there.
Yeah. That's when we did talk with him. Yeah. That's when we did talk about it. Yeah.
Beverly Hills Cop 3, The Flintstones.
48 Hours.
And I think Hudson Hawk... I don't think the audience knew what they were going to see.
Yeah.
I watch it now and I have a great time with it.
Oh, yeah.
It's so stupid.
Yeah.
Great video game.
It is. Yeah.
And poor Bruce Willis.
Yeah.
I don't feel bad for him really, but 48 Hours. I mean, if there was an action movie you enjoyed between 83 and 95, it probably had something to do with D'Souza.
Right. Yeah.
Because he's even uncredited on stuff.
Yeah. Initial draft, editing on it too, or anything like that. But, with, like we said, the Commando, with the revenue that it pulled in, that they automatically wanted a sequel, of course. And so D'Souza starts writing it, and we get this, guy takes over an airport, and pretty much the same vein of Die Hard 2.
Die Hard 2.
But Schwarzenegger doesn't want to do it.
No.
And
good for him.
Yeah, he's just like, one and done. I'm good. On to the next one. Got paid. And they pass it off. And what does it turn into?
Die Hard 2.
Die Hard 2. And which is, a lot of people hate on Die Hard 2. But
they
Die
can go
Hard
to hell.
2,
They can go straight to hell.
Die Hard 2 is fun. Not as fun as 1 or 3, of course, but it's still in its own right. It's a fun movie.
It's a blast, and I'm glad that story eventually got told.
Yeah.
It's important to society. And Bruce Willis he's great. I could watch McClane do just about anything.
Yeah, easily.
I think McClane is about as true to who Bruce Willis is as anything, like any character he plays. Because he kind of plays McClane in every movie.
Right.
In my opinion. But, hey, he's fantastic as McClane.
Was I...
Asleep?
No, that too. But did I remember that... And I could have swore that, like, when I was looking up Commando stuff, wasn't Die Hard 1 in because of Commando as well? Like, wasn't there something... Because Die Hard didn't take place till 88.
Right.
So, I think that something had happened in between there to where they were writing it.
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember what that little link is. Commando and Die Hard. Here it is. Commando is a 1985... Radon Chong. Okay. While the 1988 original Die Hard is often mistaken and confirmed in recent interviews by D'Souza as being a sequel to Commando, Die Hard did contain many of the same characteristics, tropes, and materials that made the film as critical. As a result, both are often labeled as definitive 80 action movies, since neither one is the other. Since it's either one or the other, which is the most inspirational premise ripped off for every other Hollywood foreign movie blockbuster. So it seems like he's saying
those myths are not true.
Yeah.
And I think that's what it was. It's
Yeah.
like, I think when they initially wrote Commando, or maybe something happened to where it could have been the sequel that they were talking about, like, well, that was supposed to be Die Hard.
Right.
Schwarzenegger didn't want to do it, so then they just rewrote the script, put Bruce Willis in it, and it became Die Hard.
Because, the whole thing, I mean, they were originally they had to offer the role to Sinatra first, right? That's the legend, and apparently confirmed and true, because of the deal they had from when this book was sold in 1972.
Hey, just like I got this contract.
I'm divorced. Whoa. Take it, Takagi.
So we can squash those rumors.
Squashing it right now.
Squashing it. And we can say that, yes, it was the definitive Die Hard 2 sequel that it ended up being. Yeah.
And so I guess eventually rumors became truths.
Right.
And anything else on D'Souza, Marcus?
I mean, we went a lot over him in Street Fighter, so I won't get too much into it. But just like you said, unless you have anything to add, I mean, like you said, a staple within the 80s, any action movie, any big budget blockbuster almost too. He had he had his fingers in it somewhere. Yeah. Just like I did during The Crow.
Go back. It's a great episode. Go back and listen to our Crow episode that we did with Creep Street Podcast. So, this movie, as I said, came out to some critical praise and, of course, the box office praise. But the critical praise comes from our boy Ebert.
Yeah.
Ebert looks at this movie as like, you know what? They do what they do well, and I had a good time at it.
Yeah. Gene didn't care for it too much.
Gene didn't care for it.
No.
Let's talk about this, because you and I, right when you came over, we started talking about the idea that people started referencing Bennett's character as gay.
Right.
And I never even thought about that either. Even watching it now, it never comes across that he's a gay. But it's all... They say that because of his costume.
Sure.
And Siskel says it's obvious that he's gay, and of course we have to beat him.
Yeah. In an effort for Schwarzenegger to show his masculinity or something like that.
I think that's a reach.
Yeah.
And in this oral history, again, I'll reference, the character was never supposed to be that.
Right.
I can see it. Don't get me wrong. I can see it, especially with the costume and stuff like that. That fits a lot tighter than originally was supposed to, because
that's cutting off circulation under the armpits right there.
You don't want that.
No.
And especially a big guy like Bennett. Yeah. Bennett was not the original. The guy Vernon Wells was not the original actor. The guy they originally had, they didn't like.
Yeah.
They filmed some scenes with him, got rid of him, brought in this guy. Didn't have time for a costume fitting, I guess, and just put him in his shit. And that's why he looks like a large man in a medium.
Yeah, just looks like a wrestling coach who just got thrown into the fray. And
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I guess we could talk about Vernon a little bit. You have any fun news on him?
Yeah, I mean, as you said, like Commando is his first big one. Well, no, Mad Max. I mean, yeah. I mean, you got Mad Max. You do have Weird Science as well.
Yeah.
And something that I did read about, like, all these parts that he fell into in the 80s were things that he didn't even really want to do. He was a big director in Australia. Not big, but like commercial-wise and stuff like that. And he loved just doing that back home in Australia. He, decided to try to stay in America, just auditioning for some things, and ended up just falling into these roles that actually are classics. Like, all three of them that he fell into are classics.
There's...
and even Inner Space.
Yeah.
As well.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Igor, I can't remember his name, but the one-handed guy. Yeah.
And I think... Oh, gosh. Inner Space freaked me out as a kid.
Yeah.
I think... We talk about this a lot. And you know what? While we're at this point, this was sort of the last character that we need to give to... I think if we do a really in-depth thing on Schwarzenegger, it doesn't need to be Commando.
No.
I think it should be either Predator or Total Recall. One of the bigger ones.
Yeah.
Or T2.
T2,
yeah. T2. And so I guess let's just go ahead and get into the movie.
Yeah.
I don't think there's much left to say about Wells. He and Arnold are still friends.
Yeah.
Arnold had his doubts